Good morning, good people of God. Good morning. I pray that you had a decent night's sleep. I pray that you were in the bosom of the Lord, surrendering it all to Him, giving Him the glory and the praise this morning when He woke you up. Because a lot of times we forget to tell Him good night, but He's still so consistent and loving that He still tells us good morning because we still have purpose. And so as I was in my reading, God got me in Hosea. To be honest, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you all, I've never even flipped the book open to Hosea. But now that I'm in it, I read and then God starts to minister to me about what He's saying. Because I've always asked God to give me understanding about what I'm reading so I just don't be reading. And so when I was in Hosea 4, the verses 15 through 19, 4, 15 through 19 stuck out to me. And it says this. It says, "You've ruined your own life, Israel, but don't drag Judah down with you. Don't go to the sex shrine at Gilgal. Don't go to that sin city Bethel. Don't go around saying God bless you and not mean it, taking God's name in vain. Israel is stubborn as a mule. How can God lead him like a lamb to open pasture? Ephraim is addicted to idols. Let him go. When the beer runs out, it's sex, sex, and more sex. Bold and sordid debauchery, how they love it. The whirlwind has them in clutches. Their sex worship leaves them finally impotent." And that was the Message Bible, right? And so we all know that he's not actually talking about physical sex, but he's talking about the people, how they committed adultery towards God for the world. And as I was reading, the word impotent stuck out to me. And I was like, God, what are you saying? And so before I even looked it up in the dictionary, God was already telling me impotent was weak, not useful, debilitated. And so when I looked it up, it was the similar words. And then when I looked up debilitated, it is weakened, not useful. And so God said that his people are becoming weak. Prayers are not effective because they have one foot in and the other out, lukewarm. One day on fire for him, the next day on fire for the things of the world. The enemy is not lukewarm. He is on fire for the agenda to destroy the true nature of worship and prayer and bring discard amongst the people. Choose this day who and what you will be on fire for. This battle is real, and you need to have your weapons of warfare already prepared, for this is spiritual. The whole armor is necessary, like Jesus was necessary for your salvation. He did not sacrifice in vain. And then God started to tell me that the wicked, there will be no reconciliation with them. There is no reconciliation with the wicked. And I kept hearing him say this. And so God is saying that either we going to give up the things of the world and be with him, or we going to be with the world and give up on him, because right now our prayers are not effective. They're not powerful because we're into, okay, let me pray to get this from God. And once we get what we want from God, then we go back to what we used to be. And God is tired of it because he's consistent in everything that he does for us. He's consistent in our prayers. He answers them. He show us who he is to us in our lives. But yet we still smack him in the face because once we get what we want from him, we go back to what he took us from. We go back to what he delivered us from. It's just like being in a toxic relationship. He gets you out of it, but yet you having withdrawals and thinking that you're missing something because he removed you from it. But yet it seems like the other person is living the life when they're not. They don't have love. They don't have joy. They don't have peace. But the enemy put this deception in your mind thinking that it's better over there. So you pray to get out. God got you out, but then you turn back to it. He said it's just like a dog returning to his vomit. It's not going to happen. It's nasty. It's disgusting. He wants you to stay forward because our bodies were made to move forward on the journey he has us on. And we can't keep on giving our pearls to swine because they don't know what to do with it. If it's food or trash, they gonna eat it all regardless because they can't distinguish it. We have to make our prayers effective and powerful by staying in the presence of God. He says it right here in Hosea 4:15 through 19. It's not nothing I said. It's right here. It's in your Bible too. Pick it up and read it. God is not playing with us. He loves us. And he's telling us that the enemy is building up so many people, that it's so many people that's going to hell because they don't want to do right. It's very few. And he said that in the Bible that's going to go the way that he chose for us to go. We either choose this day if we want to be hot for God or on fire for the world. We have to choose, because right now, God's done so much for me, and I feel so bad for all the times I've turned back to the things he took me from. And I just ask God to forgive me. And that mercy that he put on my life, I love him for it, because he didn't have to do it. He could have been like, this is your last time, and I'm not pulling you out no more. You're going to have to fight to get up out of this. But because he loves us so much, he divinely protects us and get us out. But yet he's upset because we keep turning to the world, committing adultery with the world, even though he still loves us and have his hand out for us. So on today, I pray that God, that you will see God in the spiritual eye as how he fight these battles for us, how he loves us, how he protects us, how he covers us, how he provides for us, to know that what he has for you is far more important than the world, because the devil is going to laugh at you when you in the world, when you fall. He's not going to tell you that you're going to fall or that you're going to have mishaps and all this. No, he's going to lure you in and be deceptive. How many of you know that the devil is a copycat to everything that the Lord has? God created Christ for us to have salvation. The enemy wants to create the Antichrist. God created heavenly language so that we can speak in tongues, his heavenly language. The enemy speaks in a demonic language, which have people fooled when they looking for those prophetic words, and they speaking those words, and you don't know if it's a curse that they speaking, but yet you come into agreement with it. Oh yes, today I'm going to tell you what the Lord has been telling me, because I'm not sugarcoating it. He tells me first, so it's for me first, then for whoever else will listen. But the enemy has a copycat for everything, and I'm letting you know it's very deceptive. That's how we get tricked in. Stop committing adultery against God and get on a plane with him and let him take flight. You just a passenger. He know how to get you to where you're going safely. Have a blessed day.